Welcome back and thank you for staying with Inside Politics. Let's listen in to your sentiments back at home. As I hinted earlier, feel free to call us. The number was just displayed on the screens a little bit earlier on. But let's proceed to our first caller who's already on the line calling from Kisii County, Julius Amache. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, sir. How do you do?
I'm very fine, thank you. How do you do?
Fine, thank you.
Kindly continue. Well, what do you think about the earthquake? Was it an earthquake or a storm in the teacup? Let's start there.
One thing I strongly believe there was an earthquake. Unfortunately, now the receiver of the earthquake was the earthquaker himself. Because since the joining, the merger of ANC and UDA, you will find that Mudavadi has lost almost everybody who matters in Western. He had only 4 are clinging to him, and I'm told from history that probably two of them will just run away today, and then one will run away tomorrow, and they will remain with 1 member of parliament. Number 2, let us learn from history. And from history, Raila Odinga has run for presidency 4 times. But in particular 3 times, 3 rounds from 2007, 2013, and 2017, he has faced different presidential candidates. In 2007, he faced Mwai Kibaki, and he defeated him in Western. In 2013, Mudavadi and Uhuru stood, and all of them, he defeated them actually in Western. 2017, he also defeated Uhuru Kenyatta in Western. So regardless where Mudavadi will go, Raila Odinga will carry the votes of Western Kenya. Number 2 in my argument is, I want to remind people that Oka is Kalonzo Musyoka, and the Musyoka is Oka. And if you see the branding of Kalonzo Musyoka, yesterday, Kalonzo Musyoka was branded in blue. It tells you that his heart and mind and soul are in Azimio la Umoja. It does not need rocket science for someone to see that the heart and soul of Kalonzo Musyoka actually is in Azimio. The only thing which is waiting is the bargaining. That now, because Azimio will take a running mate from Central, Kalonzo must be assured that after giving me to be the Speaker of the National Assembly, what else will you do? So probably it's bargaining to be given the candidate, the governor candidate in Nairobi. Those are the logistics Kalonzo is doing so far. And then finally, we want to learn from history. There is one person who said yesterday that they are waiting the president to come in Mount Kenya and then ask him difficult questions. Number 1, I'm reminded that regarding Achawa was a PA to Uhuru Kenyatta. And I'm reminding him that when he was a PA of the president, all those questions he was asking yesterday, he could have asked them when he was a PA, actually a personal assistant to him. History tells us where we were, where we are, and where we're heading to. Finally, what I'm telling people is, Azimio la Umoja is the next government we're expecting. Thank you, and God bless you.
Okay, Julius Amache, asante for your time calling from Kisii County. I'm pretty sure Gloria will have something to say about that. Let's cross over to our next caller from Kwale County this time round, Lucina Sakong, who's on the line. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, Jesse. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. Thanks for your time. Talk to us.
Okay, fine. Now, I have 3 first points I want to put to you. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Continue.
Yes, I can hear you. Number 1, we should stop this thing called political deceit in this country. When we went for an election in 2017, hello, Jesse.
Continue.
When we went for an election in 2017, we elected the president and the deputy. The president was called Uhuru Kenyatta, the deputy is called William Samoei Ruto. One of your panelists wants to mislead the Republic by saying Raila came in and brought the rearrangement. The government of Kenya is arranged by the constitution that we gave the people of Kenya. I have never seen Raila holding a gun or organizing a group to go and overthrow the Ruto government. So as we're talking today, they should take full responsibility. In fact, Jesse, when someone talks about increased debt, we can talk about the Jubilee government borrowing between 2013 and 2017 was unprecedented. It was 3 times the government of Mzee Kibaki. Where was Ruto to tell us about the high debt? This is what you call deceit. This is what you call blackmail. What I know is that Uhuru Kenyatta had a good intention of healing the nation and therefore took to Raila Odinga to come together. I have never had a day where Uhuru said he want to chase away Raila Odinga. So that is that point of people keeping on cheating us that Ruto is out of government. Up making this call. William Samoei Arap Ruto is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and is responsible for the running of the government. In fact, he chairs a committee of the counties. So let us stop cheating people on the air that he was chased out of the government. By who? When? We have never had that. And the Constitution does not allow that. He is protected by the Constitution. Number 2, just first. Number 2, on Musalia Mudavadi. There was no earthquake. What happened was political accident. We had an accident that one weekly Musalia Mudavadi performed. And let me tell you how. Right now, as we talk to you, we are done with Mudavadi in Western Kenya. He will deliver some votes. Of course, he cannot like to deliver some 500 or 1,000 votes, but he cannot command as he will have commanded when he is the presidential candidate. Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, what I can only tell you is that he has done good political business. He has negotiated away with William Ruto. As a person, he has benefited. But as a community, I can assure you, he will not deliver to vote to William Ruto. Raila Odinga has got a tradition of making Musalia relevant in Western Kenya. I want to take you to 2007 and 2. When Mudavadi went away from Raila, he lost even his and was in the cold. Raila picked him in 2007. He met him a principal in Pentagon. Mudavadi was given the deputy prime minister. Come 2013, he tried to run on his own on UDF. He lost. He was in shackles. 2017, Raila picks him to make him a chief campaigner. He made relevant. So he has a pattern of on, off, on, off. This is an off season for him. He's going to be off the rad of Western Kenya politics. And then finally, the Mount Kenya running mate. When I can assure you that Raila Amolo Odinga this time is from Central Kenya. And that is his last card of winning this election. Once he picks a running mate from Western Kenya, and I mean not Western but Central Kenya, and I will pray that he goes. Central is big. We have got the lowest, the Mount Kenya Central part, the Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. If he goes to the Meru community and the other people also accept to support the Mount Kenya East, I can tell you for free that Baba is going to be the president. In the coast of Kenya, we can assure you Baba is coming with not less than 70% of the vote.
Okay.
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay, thank you so much, Lucina. Definitely interesting sentiments right there. Let's go over to our next caller right way and calling from Muranga. That's Dr. Mukiri Githendu. Daktari, good afternoon. How are you?
Thank you very much, Jesse, for a very good program and with a very professional panel. I thank you very much. Musalia Mudavadi committed political suicide by joining a person largely viewed as the high priest of corruption. He left his deputy of ANC leader and several MPs to defect to Azimio. The Bukugu 2 Stadium rally last year, I think it was in December, determined who calls the political shots in Western Kenya, and it is neither Musalia or Oweta. A big fallout is expected, even from Central Kenya, when ANC and UDA agreement starts to sink, because there were many in Mount Kenya who are hoping to be considered that running mates, Gachagua, Waiguru, etc. It's just a question of time. When we look at Oka has not been affected by Musalia's betrayal. Gideon Moi, Muturi, Kalonzo, Jirongo, and so on have actually been joined now by Karoa and Wajegi. And they seem to have hit the ground running and stamping their authority in Eastern Kenya, Ukabani, and planning on Mount Kenya climbing. As I have said before, Oka is a reserve energy, and at the right time, especially if BBI is resumed by the Supreme Court as expected, this reserve energy will be absorbed by Azimio movement. I do not believe Oka has capacity to force a runoff. If they continue all the way to the ballot, they will have no impact, and it will still be the top two horses that will produce a leader. When it comes to running mate question, the marriage of Musalia and Weta has got less impact because it might actually take away votes from Central Kenya, as I said earlier.
Okay, Daktari, thank you. We definitely have gotten your comments right there, centered on the political impact right after that political shift by Musalia Mudavadi and the question around the running mate. Of course, let me pick the final thoughts from our panelists, and I'd like to implore on them to be brief as possible. I'll start with Wakili Echesa. Your final comments.
My final comments on the three topics under discussion. One, there was no earthquake. There was a storm in a cup of tea. And if there was any earthquake, it ended up destroying the ANC party and Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. And secondly, on the issue of whether Mudavadi and Wetangula moved with the Western masses to Ruto's basket, this can be answered through a very quick analysis. Who controls Busia? Busia County has traditionally been an orange zone. Who controls Vihiga? Vihiga governor is ODM governor and is a very strong man. Kakamega, we have Francis Atwoli, who was mentored and created many political careers, and Deputy President Oparanya. In Bungoma and Trans Nzoia, if the triumphant entry of George Natembeya through DAP Kenya is anything to go by, then Democratic Action Party of Kenya has wiped out Moses Wetangula's Ford Kenya in Trans Nzoia and in Bungoma. And on the question of running mate, Azimio is better suited to pick a running mate from Central Kenya. And for William Ruto, whether he does it or does not, he will have consequences. If he picks Musalia, he has consequences. If he picks someone from Mount Kenya, there are political consequences.
Asante sana. We appreciate your input right here. Joining us from our Kakamega bureaus, Wakili Ken Echesa. Over to our next panel, Dismas Mukua, your brief final comments.
Thanks a lot, Jesse, for the opportunity to make these contributions. But as we look at the Augusta scoreboard, we must place a huge premium on a coalition or a political party which is going to give us a political stability and economic stability. Those two are indispensable propositions in taking Kenya to the next level. And we should be asking ourselves that among all these tickets, which one is going to give us socioeconomic development so that Kenyans are happy? That is number one. Then number two, we must also look at these political formations and find out which one will crush impunity, mediocrity, and corruption. If we take the wrong choices, we have another 10 years where we'll be bleeding. Then number three, and most important, we must run away from toxic politics, which is anchored in lies, deceit, alternative facts, and fake news when we are having our national conversations. Because if we elect candidates based on toxic politics, then we have no capacity, we have no moral authority to hold them into account.
Ismas, thank you for your final comments. Okay, if we can be brief, Mark Vichachi, I'll start with you.
Mine to two people.
Yeah.
First is our leaders. Please put your egos aside. As Gloria said, don't run for office for the sake of wasting Kenyans' time. Think about what is good for this country and make the right decisions. My second message is to my friend Dismas Mukua. Dissenting opinions is not toxic politics.
Okay, as simple as that. Gloria?
For me, I want to say this. We are in a time where the economy should be focused on. So any political leader or any, let me say, presidential candidate who's coming out and is not selling you anything that is going to put pesa mfukoni or give you a job, you know, kazi,
okay,
then I think at the end of the day, ask yourself whether you want them to be your leader. And finally, as women who are in politics, I think there's an opportunity here. And I speak this to my party leader, William Ruto.
All right.
I am saying Alice Wahome is a very good running mate.
All right.
She comes from the right region, Muranga. She's from Mount Kenya, and we are saying her track record in the leadership as an MP.
Gloria Roba, thank you for your time. We appreciate your input right here. Youth policy analyst, it's always a pleasure to have you with us, as well as the other panelists. Dismas Mukua, political risk analyst, Mark Bichachi, communication strategist, and Kenneth Chesa, as I mentioned, joining us from Kakamega. Wakili, Asante for your input. Let's continue with the conversation on social media. Use the hashtag InsidePolitics. Up next, Weekend at 1. Keep it KTN News.